Well, maybe you know what's happened. I know what's happened. I've made a change to it. So if you notice here, yeah. So I took the 20 out. You know, you don't have to. You don't have to. So I mean, now that I just have the 80 in here, okay, you can just delete it if you want. That's right. I guess whenever I put that in the scans tab for you, I mean, it's probably it's months ago. Remember, these are sort of templates, okay? I mean, you can always adjust them on your own. Right. Okay. So, excuse me. It's not going to make a huge difference. You will obviously get some stocks in there that I wouldn't, but it's not going to make a huge difference. You guys, just give me a second here as I get the YouTube feed and get the pop out chat going so I can keep an eye on any questions coming into the YouTube feed. All right, here we go. All right, let's take a look at what the analysts have got in store for us today in certain terms of their upgrades and downgrades. Well, we got a full list of each. I'm going to just have to cherry pick some of them. Too many. All right, let me just get a few of them in here. I say there are a lot of them. I'll get the upgrades in first. Just a few more to go on the upgrades. All right, there are more. I just cannot get them all in. I'm just going to get some of the downgrades in now. It's about the same. Maybe the downgrades. Maybe there are a few more downgrades than upgrades this morning. I've got some alarm set here. Just a second. Oops. Yeah, just a ton of energy plays. Energy, construction. Just a few more to go. I mean, there's so many. Just so mainly energy plays. Airlines, of course, getting. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I mean, there are too many. All right, there are some of the upgrades, downgrades from the analysts this morning from briefing.com. AYTU, I should have mentioned this one. I know AYTU was, well, it had gapped up, but it's pretty. It had gapped up to 266, back down now under $2. Now TNK, which turned out to be an incredibly, well, good play for me anyway. That was yesterday. And it's still strong, not very much volume, TNK. And let's see what the DSSI is doing. DSSI. Still pretty good. Getting closer, about $1 away from the 200-day moving average. Another tanker, Sting, Scorpio. Look at this one. I mean, these three, DSSI, Sting, STNG, and TNK. Tremendous plays so far. Now, I did receive an email this morning. Who are they from? This is a new newsletter from. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen these guys before. Bonitas. Bonitas Research. I don't know if they look like they're probably Chinese also. They have Chinese script underneath, so it's maybe a Chinese company, but I haven't seen them before. But anyway, these are short sellers. And they're talking about JKS being a fraud. So most of you are familiar with Citron and Street Sweeper and Muddy Waters. This may be just maybe a new entrant or into the short selling game, newsletter game. All right, DSSI now, probably not very much volume, but yeah, there's no volume yet, but just touching 12, getting closer to that 200-day moving average. So again, guys, if you want to follow my watch list up and down, I don't know what's going to happen today because, again, as I said when I opened the room this morning, because the market was up 1,000 points yesterday, most of the stocks in my scan were on the upside, of course. But now with the market gapping down so much, again, the whole idea is that these are the stocks that make my watch list are in theory stocks that still have some room to run in the same direction. But again, with the market gapping down so much, those trying to recover, a little bit of a recovery. Remains to be seen exactly what's going to happen. So I will not auto trade my entries. No, I see I forgot to exit some trades from yesterday. Okay, let me. Okay, just give me 1 minute here as I get my record count down to a manageable number. All right. What are my auto trades? I have no auto trades. I'm not going to auto trade anything. Because the market is you get these 300-400 point swings. I find it just really, really difficult to turn the auto trader on my watch list. So I'm not auto trading anything. All right, again, so if you do want to follow my watch list, up and down, all you have to do is click on new. If you're new to the room, but you do have trade ideas, click on new. And from the channel bar, so click on new from the toolbar, click on channel bar. And there I am right there, Barry's Windows. All right. Now remember, everything in a channel bar is a layout. Before you do that, before you click on anything in a channel bar, make sure you save your layout to the cloud. It's not that big. It's not a big deal at all. And nothing will appear in the up or down until at least 15 minutes into the market. I have a delay that I put. I don't want to see anything in here until market settles down a little bit. Not that this market has settled down after 15 minutes. In fact, I was just looking at the SPY. Remember these days when it only had little narrow candles for the SPY on a daily chart? You know, since then, we've been that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and now 13 trading days. It's almost 3 weeks since we've had what we'll call normality in the SPY range. Yeah, GNMK, another, yeah, it's a virus play. These are just analysts, their idea of what might happen. They'll put an upgrade on the stock if they think it's has room to go, or a downgrade if they think it should be knocked down. It's just opinions of analysts. Sometimes it's interesting, sometimes it's not. If Goldman puts an upgrade or a downgrade, probably more people pay attention to it. Doesn't mean it's going to happen that day, and it may never happen. All right, yes, less than a minute. Well, what day is it today? Wednesday. So let's see what Wednesday brings. Have a great trading day, everybody. It was an awesome day yesterday. I mean, the market, really, you think about it. The market was up about 700, then it was down about, I don't know, 100 or 200. Then it stayed around 200, 300, and then it rallied up to 1,000 right to the end. So that's like imagine if the market opened at 200 right from the beginning and it just crept up to 1,000. I mean, that was an awesome trend. Yes, yeah, burn, yeah, that's a virus play. All right, we are now open. An offering? It means they're raising money. Okay, guys, are you getting, starting to get a lag here in my detail window? Let me just see if that's, okay, are you guys getting a problem in your single stock window? Well, the market's down, what, 600, 700? Yeah, they're raising money, and typically, it's not welcome news to shareholders because they're usually raising money. So what's happening is that, well, not usually raising, but it's at lower than the close, and they're offering shares, so it's diluting your position. No. Guys, are you getting, just want to, before I harassed our development guys, look at BKYI, guys, BKYI. Okay, now it's back. Okay, look at BKYI. This is not, and it's halted. Yeah, it just got halted. This has obviously been a record week for halts and resumes. All right, so let's be careful on this IMAC if you're interested. I mean, this did hit a high of 139 or so in the pre-market. It is pulled back underneath the magic dollar. It's trying to recover here. It's a low float, 4.8 million in the float. It's funny, when I saw IMAC, I thought it was IMAX. And interesting, I mean, IMAX you would think is a great short. I mean, it's been moving down. Again, people are a little afraid about congregating anywhere. So there's IMAX's theaters. No. Okay, guys. Are we having no audio again? Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, so... Okay, because I know we had the audio issue with Firefox yesterday. So it must be on your end. Who asked that question? Deborah. Okay. iMac, not IMAX, but iMac. SNCR is a look at this one now. SNCR also halted. AYTU. All right, well, there's the pre-market high for AYTU, 267. Look at DSSI, guys. DSSI has the volume picked up. Not real well, it's trying to, but the volume is starting to pick up a little bit here, DSSI. All right, so much for the Heatabix, HTBX. Macy's on the way. Look at this. Macy's underneath 10 now. Macy's M underneath 10 now. Meanwhile, iMac. Well, it's a low float. This is a virus. This is a virus play. Yeah, just wanted to check. It is a virus play. Twitter on the move down, or on the way down. All right, guys. Now, you know my feeling about the AI when it has a very early alert. I like to see things settle down just a little bit. Now, this may pop back up, but you know what? You know which one I'm talking about. So I'd probably put a price alert right at the alert. You know, BKI has just run away. Okay, BKYI resumed. AIM on the move a little bit here, bouncing off 4. Yeah, INO continues, coming back. All right, keep an eye on this Cloudera. Cloudera earnings play. It's going right again into that 200-day moving average, 860. It's right there. Well, in fact, it's trying to pop through it. CLDR. Let's see, well, it looks like it's doing a good job so far. All right, AMCR. Now, AMCR was a gap down. A lot of volume now. I don't know anything about this company. I mean, I know I can read it, but big float, 1.6 billion in the float. I know it was halted also. Yeah, COE is halted on the way down. China Online Education Group on the way down. COE. Look at DSSI. Boy, these tankers. DSSI. What's TNK doing? Yeah, not quite as robust as DSSI. Now, DSSI is getting closer and closer to that 200-day moving average. Boy, another halt. APA. Well, it was halted. Up and down. Unfee, UNFI. I don't think it's a virus play. General Line Groceries. Okay, so, a run on grocery stocks. UNFI. It's also, okay, it's an earnings play. Really nothing happening in the pre-market. But UNFI on the move here. UNFI on the move. Why are they? Because of the volatility, money juice. It's just a computer generated program that looks at the volatility of a stock, how fast it's gone up basically how fast has a stock gone up. My goodness, Fleur, the end. I know probably you guys are tired of my saying this, but this used to be one of the biggest construction companies in the world. FLR. You guys were mentioning PHIO. PHIO, another virus play, I believe. So PHIO. But a lot of them pulled way back. I mean, 429 all the way back down to 314. Got to be so careful. Fleur, oh, it is shortable. Sorry, I thought it wasn't shortable for me. Well, okay, again, you get the question a lot. When will a stock resume after a halt? Typically, they are 5-minute halts, all right? Typically. I would say that at least 90%, if not more, are 5-minute halts. If it's not a 5-minute halt, it will be a multiple of 5 minutes. Now, don't ask me why some are 5 and some are 10. But anyway, so if I know opens up, it'll open up just at 9:41:59 seconds. In fact, it just opened. Probably, right? No, it didn't. So this looks like this will be at least a 10-minute halt. VSLR, yeah, VSLR actually is an earnings play. Saw it in the pre-market. It's been bouncing around a little bit. Look at Fleur, FLR. Now, typically, I don't trade in the first 15 minutes anyway. Like to see again. I just like to see things settle down a little bit. I see too many stock whipping up and down in the first 15, and I know I'll miss the rocket ship that just keeps going. But as I say, c'est la vie. Now look at Fetch, FTCH, Fetch. Now it takes out 10. That could be interesting on a short. Well, TNK, wow, is it really giving it up? What's DSSI doing? Not quite as dramatic, but TNK really giving it up. Okay, INO, I'm sorry. INO resumed. It was a 5-minute halt. Right at 9:42, I'm sorry. So INO was a 5-minute halt. And it didn't really, well, it sort of popped. Well, it did pop, but it is now giving it up a bit. And what else is halting? APA's resuming, APA, ETRN resuming. I don't know, a lot of energy plays. AMCR, a lot of volume now. It's a big float, 1.6 billion in the float. Nice bounce back play so far for AMCR. And Codex resumed, CODX, another virus play, CODX, just resumed. Wainwright putting an aggressive $20 price target on it, reiterated by HC Wainwright. Here's the, you can see right there. All right, it's 9:44, so we'll probably start getting some, especially in the watch list down, probably start getting some watch list down. Certainly no earlier than 9:45. All right, BKYI resumed again. Right at 9:45. Now, you know, keep an eye on BKY. I have an alert set right around 164. Let's see, what sort of resistance does it have? Yeah, a little bit of resistance on that monthly chart, so it has to get through that level, really. That's kind of where it stalled. Then after that, it could have a run into that 2 level. So if I were you, I'd just stick a price alert around 164, 165. See if it captures it again. Well, things have actually settled down a little bit. I'm not getting alerts. I mean, look at all the, I say a record week definitely for halts and resumes. VVNT was halted, now it's, yeah. And it has not resumed, I guess, nope. Yes, it has, I guess VVNT did resume, right there, 946. I don't know what they do. VVNT. Let's see. Are they? Smart homes. Interesting. This is I guess is a relatively recent IPO, a couple of months ago. VVNT. Okay, same thing, guys. On the TLSA, I'd probably stick an alert, price alert, up in that 730 area. See if it regains it, recovers. All right, guys, I'm having the same issue again. Let me see, reset connection. My top list window's stalled at 940. Anybody else? Your top. I had the same issue yesterday. I'm not getting a time here, and it was actually stuck at 940. They're still updating the time. Okay, that's interesting why it's happening with me. I'm wondering. I'm on a development version. I'm wondering if that's the issue. But let me just see. I want to do a because of course it's very important that this updates because I want to see with the market again down. I do want to see if there are any counter trends here. Of course, most of them are going to be virus stocks. All right, guys. Well, my bias on Cloudera certainly was as a short. Let's see, 860 is that 200 days. So it poked through it just a little bit, but now it's falling off it. Okay, I'm just trying to get my topless windows to update. They're not wanting to. No, this was from yesterday. CF from yesterday. So CF is still weak. So I had the run at the end of the day, but now with the market down, I mean, Mario pointed this one out yesterday. It just alerted to me on that price alert. I gotta get rid of them all here. Actually, I don't want to. No, not yet. I want to see if these other ones trigger. All right, so now these tankers are starting to sink. No pun intended. All right, I'm going to pass I just want to give somebody and check my layout. Give me a moment here as I give my layout to somebody. All right, guys. Just wanted to see why my top lists are not updating. Keep trying to reset the connection, see if that's going to help. I don't want. I probably they'll be fine if I. Oh, there's Fleur. They'll probably be fine if I reload trade ideas. I just don't want to because then I miss that. Then I'm not going to see all these initial ones, but maybe I will anyway. I want to see if that cures it. So just give me a second. Yeah, that worked. Just don't like doing it. All right, guys. So yeah, I'm back to normal now, I guess. My top list windows are now updating. Well, let me make sure they are. I'm at 9:53. Okay, what's Cloudera doing? CLDR, CLDR. Okay, now there's nothing in my strong stocks up, nothing. As you would expect with the market being down, what, 800 points? Meanwhile, save needs some saving here. So what is, yeah, still has room, cracks that 20, another airline, of course. Boy, look at Fleur. I mean, if Fleur takes out 7, I don't know if I'll get the short. It might be, I guess it wasn't down 10% yesterday, but we are going to see a lot of patterns like this. Here's the daily chart. 2 days ago, the big red down day, when that was the 2000 down day. Yesterday, the big up 1000 day, green candle, and now today. So we're going to see a lot of patterns that look like this. Okay, BKYI is now halted again on the way up. Keep an eye on this one, guys. I mean, this has just been, so I don't like trading in the first 15. But, you know, this takes out that 164 area. I mean, excuse me, what's the high right there is 162. The high right there is 162. So 160 is right there. 159 on the monthly chart, 162. So there's the area. I mean, it gets through 162. And this could resume. Not talking about the halts resume. It could just resume its upward trend. And this is not a virus play. They actually had some news, but a $30 million contract, low float situation, 9 million in the float, 9.7 million in the float. IMAC is still resting on $1. I think what I'll do is I'll stick an alert around 117, maybe later on. It perks up. Okay, so my top lists are not updating. Julio, I don't know if you can hear me. I'm stuck at 953. And I'm talking to a developer. If there's a Julio in the room, I'm not talking to you. All right, well, here, let me just do a screenshot for him. And by the way, guys, TLSA. Oh man, it's very whip. Oh my gosh, forget it, guys. I mean, that is just too darn whippy. I thought, you know, look what it did. It did take out that area right there, and now it just dropped. So you have to be so careful. Give me a second here. I'm just screenshotting somebody. Okay, now it just resumed for me. All right, so Codex, CODX, over 10. This could be really interesting. Over 10, it's moving there right now, guys. This is strong stock up. The only one in the list right now. Only one. National Oilwell, another huge, well, in the old days anyway, huge company. NOV. So again, guys, I just want to ask. I know some of you have responded to me. Your top list windows were working correctly, for sure. Mine weren't updating, and I don't think it's updating now because it's now 10:02. It's not updating now. I just want to make sure because, okay, so, but nobody else is having this issue, okay? Development is asking me, of course, to, if I'm the only one, that's kind of weird, but I am on a development version. You don't have to, puck stopper, you don't have to insert one. Okay? Now, you may not get very many new highs today, all right? You don't have to insert one though. Just leave it blank for today's highs, okay? But if you're not getting any, yeah, if you're not getting any, I mean, it's just, hardly any stocks are up for the day. Now, you may also have other filters that are preventing it. I mean, there are some stocks obviously making new highs, but depending on what other filters you have in play. Look at KBSF, Fashion Group. They're out of China. Yeah, that's right. They're out of China. Haven't seen them for a while. Through the 200-day moving average also. 231. It's right at the 200-day moving average. I mean, if you want, you can send me your link, Puckstopper, if you really want, and I'll take a look at it. Why would you have that one though anyway? Because you have no other filters. I mean, you could get and especially in an up day, you get hundreds and hundreds of alerts, thousands of alerts maybe. Okay, Bill, we've got to the bottom of this. It should be corrected. It depends on the server. So when I was asking the question about top lists not updating, depending on the server that you had, your top lists were updating, and they are resetting that server. So I was on a server. I was on the server that had the problem, and obviously you are too, Bill. Okay. So we just have to have some patience. Now they say they've restarted that server, so I don't know how long that takes. I mean, obviously to restart it doesn't take any time, but how long it will take to actually get it rolling on our end. Okay, so there's nothing for us to do, nothing that we can do. Okay, again, you can send it to me if you want. It's not a top list, right? It is an alert window. And I'm talking to Puck Stopper. With a new high, okay. Well, I mean, obviously they're working for me because these are stocks making new highs. I see that you pull up a find window and key in the stock that you are you talking about the single stock window here? So I'm talking to you, Stuart. Are you talking about the single stock window? Oh, I see. I see. Okay, yeah. So actually, Frank was correct. So yeah, that's just a price alert window. So first you have to load it. So if you go to the toolbar, click on New and Price Alerts. Okay, it will load, and then what I do here is my price alert window. Where are you? So there's my price alert window. Okay, so I minimize it. I minimize it because, well, first of all, I don't have to stare at it. I don't have to see it, but I minimize it because when I do get a price alert, it'll pop up. So when I minimize it, then when I do get a price alert, that's why it popped up. And I sort it on the triggered column, so I see the last one right at the top. I also put a sound alert on it, and this will also flash or get yellow and start to fade. So I cannot miss a price alert. Assuming why I put a price alert on it though, of course, is because if I'm away from my computer, I have a price alert sound that I know, so I can run in and check to see what the alert was. Okay, so if I want to say put a price alert right here for AMCR at 839, okay, I just put it right there. It is blue line on the chart, and you'll notice that it was added, so it's added right to the bottom here. There's the current price, there's the alert price. So if it gets to 839, let's see if it happens. Well, if it got to 839, then I'm going to minimize, and then the window will pop up. Okay? So you haven't sent it yet, Puckstopper, right? Okay, market is trying to put in a little rally here, guys. So, oh, you're trying, okay. Just right click, save or share to cloud, save and share, then then just paste the link into the room. Control V it into the room. All right, guys, I'm just waiting for my top list windows to start updating again because they're obviously important I have 3 that I look at that are pretty important to me. So, okay, so there's the AMCR. Let's see. I want to get that pop up. That's not really a link, but let me see. See if that worked. 294. Okay. All right. So there it is. SMCI at 943. Let me see what you've got here. I mean, there's only, let me do a history. Okay, there was only one today, SMCI. That there we go. See how that popped up? Turned yellow, fading yellow. Sorted on the triggered column, so it'll be right up at the top. I can't miss it. All right, but it does seem a little strange. I will agree with you. This does seem a little bit strange. Let me let me keep monitoring this. All right, because so even if you do a history, you don't see SM whatever it was SMCI. Oh, yeah. Does he have a? I didn't check that. Let's see if you have a symbol list. Aha! That's why. Well done, Calvin. So whatever you got in your my liked is not making new highs other than well, my liked is different from your my liked. Okay, you know your my liked is your own my like symbol list. So that's why SMCI probably would not show up for you, but that's the reason. But I 100% have to credit Calvin. Thank you. I didn't think about checking that. Give me a moment here. Okay, guys. So I'm watching this National Oil, well, NOV, right here underneath that whole number, below yesterday's low. That's why it's triggered. That's why it triggered. I'm going to do a reset. Maybe that'll help right now. Yes. Okay. So anybody whose symbol lists weren't updating, maybe just do a reset. I don't know if that's going to completely help, but it definitely updated. So do a reset, okay? So go to your account and reset connection, okay? I'm just noticing mine now is at, it was stuck at 10. I just did the reset and it's 10:16. I'll see though if this will automatically update or we still have to keep doing a reset. No, it just updated. Okay, so we should be good to go, guys. Anybody with the top list problem like I had, just do a reset and we should be good. Okay. The market is pausing now, just kind of pausing. Oh man, having all sorts of issues here too now because the DJ Dow says it's at 0. I'm really watching this NOV, guys. Really am. I'm watching the NOV. It's popping a little bit. Let's see if this is just a little fake one because I love it. The fact that it's underneath the whole number. There was no support. Really, I don't know how many years I have to go back, but there's no support for NOV. It's a big float probably. Yeah, I mean, it's 384 million in the float. Morning, Real. Ah. Okay, welcome to the room, SPJ and Pete's Trading. At 10:30, I usually go over some of the links we've got, but I'll just give a welcome to the room to anybody who's new to the room today. This is the format every day. Well, not every day. I always have to say that. Not Saturday and Sunday. I do take a break. Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock Eastern Time, sharing my mic or sharing my screen and live on the mic. All right, guys, I don't know if it's going to be a bit of a scalp trade for me, but I was able to get the short. It took a while, even though the stock was not down. Well, it's down 10% now, and it wasn't down 10% yesterday, I'm sure. Well, no, it wasn't. You can see right there. But I am in the NOV short at 1083. Just notice I did get the fill. And a tight stop on it. And it depends what the market does. Okay, the market's putting in a bit of a red bar now, so maybe that'll help drag it down a bit. Well, if you have the AI, I was looking at that one. The AI, the 958 AI alert, it's a little bit spready for a stock of that price. So is C's, guys. C's is fading also. There are a ton of them that are going to be like that. Oh, now here is TSU. What are they? Telecommunications in Brazil. I'm just looking. It's one of the few stocks that is up. Yeah, the SPY was trying to put in a bit of a red bar right there on the 15. But, you know, it has break either this way or that way to get a little more of a trend going. Well, if NBL, Neighbors, and of course the other one, oh, this is not Neighbors. I'm sorry. This is just a energy play. NOV is drilling. National Oil Well. Keep an eye on SPWH. Let's see, what sort of support does it have? It's maybe too close. Reason I'm saying is I've kind of resurrected the under 20 AI that we're still testing. And it is well, the entry was 480 on a short, but I'm looking here, maybe some fairly decent support right there, which is not that far away. All right, Armstrong Flooring. Okay, so you were not a virus play. Unless you offer virus-free flooring. AFI. Interesting. Yeah, I still have my, I think it just has to get through 165. I mean, just look at that monthly chart, that weekly chart, a couple of highs right around that area. If it can get through that, then it has a chance to, get to that 2 level anyway. Is it ever? I know. Is Macy's ever? Underneath 10. I mean, way underneath 10 now. Macy's, J.C. Penney. I guess it's same fate now. Almost an hour in the books. Yes. Wow. All right. Come on, NOV. Do either move down or take me out of the trade. All right. Let's stick an alert down here. All right, Box. Box had earnings, no, end of February. Sorry, I thought it was in March, but end of February. I think it was a decent reaction to earnings. I think it was right around here or here. Of course, with everything else, but man, it is really sunk also, like everything else. Only one trade for me so far today, guys, and that's this NOV short. Pilgrim's Pride. This was an excellent short from yesterday. Let's see, another, and in fact, no, I might be wrong. This might have been a long play in the watch list. I can't remember anymore. No, it couldn't have been. You know what? Let's take a look. Yeah, no, it was a short play. I agree with watching the BKYI, but I just think it has to get really clear that 165, 166 area to get going again. Yeah, I saw Untfi earlier. That was in one of the Momos, but I had to do a reboot or a reload of the trade ideas. So yeah, it was actually a Momo up at one point. Untfi. All right, okay, Nov. Are you going to get into the 60s for me? It is an earnings play, yes. How is Cloudera doing? Is it my... Yeah, really not doing that much. I mean, it could not really get through the 200-day moving average. It's an earnings play also. It briefly popped above it, 873, 860 is the 200-day. Okay, guys, we still have the issue of the. It depends on the server you're on. Yeah, it depends on the server you're on. Top lists are not updating. It's one big phooey because I'm sort of relying on these now, the weak stocks and the strong stocks. Which one? Which window, Lucky Pete? Or you don't know which one? On the regular layout. When you say regular layout, what? I don't know what you mean by that. That your layout? Oh, my windows. Okay, okay. I take umbrage at your classification of. It's not a chime. It should be applause. Anyway, so on the Windows repeating, so right click on it, properties, actions, and you can uncheck play sound. Okay? Okay, you asked that yesterday, Kai, and I don't know. Let me ask. Let me just ask that question to the person who actually. I mean, it's not the be all and the end all. Okay, it's really not. Ah, come on, Nov. I didn't want to scalp it where it was. All right, guys, it is now 10:35. So again, a big welcome to anybody who's brand new into the room this morning. This is the format Monday to Friday from 9 to 3 Eastern Time. Sharing my screen live on the mic. If you are a Trade Idea subscriber and you would like some of the scans, you see some of them here, but there are a lot of other scans that I'm sharing. If you click on the scans tab in the trading room, you'll see them all here. Okay. You can also click on the room drive icon. It looks like a half open folder. Click on that. Scans that I share, download. Also the links that I'm going to talk about, training links, etc. You can download both of these and they will go to a Word document so you can look at them at your leisure. So I'm going to talk about some of the links right now. And of course, I'll go into a lot more detail about the AI and Brokerage Plus. Wow, look at this AMCR, guys. Lots happening. Okay, training Monday to Friday at noon to 1 Eastern. Okay, it's a live Q&A session. Basically, what happens is I'm on YouTube right now streaming from 9 to about 11:55 or so, and then the guys take over from noon to 1. Then I resume my YouTube stream for the balance of the day from 1 to 3. Webinars Monday to Thursday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time. They are all archived. You should have the latest beta. If you don't, you'll know if you do. If you check your chart, if you don't see a buy and sell option button right on your chart, means you do not have the latest beta. So if you click on that link, you'll be brought to the download page. And just scroll down until you see the latest beta. Okay, the latest beta is 4.2.134. Okay? I do a daily video between 1:15 and 1:45 every day. Trade of the week is sent to you before the market opens every Monday morning. Next test drive. If you click on this link, you'll be notified exactly the details of the next test drive. I know that it's going to start May the 11th for 10 trading days. So if you fill in this information, then you'll get the notification about exactly how you can enter into the test drive. Basically what it is, just like it says, we do this 4 times a year. The last one was resounding success. We had over 2,000 people signing up. For $8.99, you can have access to our full premium service, just as if you were a premium subscriber. You can also take part in the test drive if you are a standard subscriber and want to upgrade to premium for those 10 trading days, up to 10 trading days, okay? So fill this in and then you'll get an email as the day approaches. Subscriptions. Before I talk about subscriptions, if you click on that tab, right down here we have 4 ebooks. The bottom 3 are swing trading setups. Could be a challenge in this market. And we also have an earning season, interesting take on earning season, okay? These are all internally generated. These are not third-party ebooks, and they're all free. I do have a Twitter account at @bbruin44, stocks only. If I click on the subscription link, so there is a promo code if you do want to take out a subscription, Barry4Alpha, all in caps, for the numeric 4, of course. Click on the link. Here is the pricing for trade ideas. We basically have 4 plans. The premium yearly, $22.68 a year minus that 15%, or the standard yearly, $10.68 a year minus the 15%. The huge difference is the AI with our premium, and if you did want to do any sort of auto trading, you need our premium subscription. You don't have to start off with one, of course. If you're unsure of the product, you want to just test this out for a while. Standard monthly, $118, less the 15%, or the premium, $228, less the 15%. Again, that discount is only good for the first month. But if you decide you'd like to upgrade from standard to premium or from a monthly to a yearly, you do it within 30 days. We will honor that 15% promo code. I hear AFI is still surging here. Interesting. It's not a virus play, one of the few ones that is up. Okay, James, I'm going to go over some of that. All right. I'm going to go over, first of all, the AI. And then we'll talk about Brokerage Plus. All right, this is the... Oh, absolutely. You can move from standard to premium anytime, yes. So this is what the AI is all about. We have approximately 50, what we call baseline strategies. This is not one of them. But if it were, the AI waits for the market to close, so it has access to the latest market data. And then takes a look at all of the filters that are in place. And in the AI strategies, there are way more filters in place. And starts, tinkering with, say, the values, the filter values. Instead of 10 and 60, the price range, maybe makes a change. Runs the back tester, sees what happens to the price profit factor, win percentage, maybe moves on to another one. Maybe adds a filter, takes one out, adds a completely new filter in. Runs through this optimization procedure for all 50 strategies. Obviously, you and I could never do that, but the AI does it as a computer. So tomorrow, then, we are presented, we don't know what strategies will make the cut. Typically, a strategy makes the cut if it has a profit factor of at least 2 and a win percentage of at least 60. Now, personally, I don't care which strategies make the cut. All I care about are what alerts are we getting. So, James, as an example, the best way to use the AI and incorporate it into your layout is if you click on New, first of all, are you watching me? Watching and you can hear me. Okay, so this is what I would do. And you are you have the app, right? You have the download version. Okay, browser Mac. Let me see if I can figure out how you can do it. Just let me. Yeah, I mean, if you can see it in your heart to get the parallels or something like that, an emulation program. But let me just see something here. I mean, I don't use the web-based version, but just give me a second here. Box AMCR. I guess I'm in the wrong one. NOV just isn't moving enough for me, but let's see. Who asked the question about the custom? Check to see if it's there. I don't know what it's called. What would it be called? Just a minute now. I'm gonna. Actually, let me just see something. I'll keep answering your question, James. I just want to see something. Yeah, I mean a lot of our Mac customers, including people at Trade Ideas who have Macs, that's what they use. They use an emulation program called Parallels. All right. Okay. So listen. Well, okay. First of all, I just want to go to the web-based version also. I just want to see something here. I'm watching the NOV. I may get bounced out. Just give me a second here. Yeah. Okay. I'm out of the NOV. I resisted the quick scalp, but no, you don't have unique needs. I mean, there were a lot of people with the web-based version, but I just want to load it. I want to see what it looks like again. No, that doesn't help me. I'm not able to load anything from the channel bar. Jeez. Yeah, I don't know if this is because of the development version I'm on, but I can't even load anything from the channel bar from the. This is what I'm trying to do here. Oops, sorry, Michael. That was for Julio. Sorry. All right, guys, listen, man, these interesting technical issues I'm having here. But anyway, James, if you decide that you want to get the emulator, then basically all you have to do is you would click on New and AI slash Holly Strategy Trades window, and then this window will pop up, and then you'll have all the alerts in one window all day long, and you can incorporate this window as part of your layout, so you don't have to do it every day. Now, how to use it is really up to you. I mean, there is no primer on how to use the AI. Everybody's going to use the AI in a different way. All right, so there's no right, there's no wrong way to use it. All right, let me continue. That was basically the description of what the AI is all about. I want to talk about Brokerage Plus now. And this will also tie into those of you with our premium service, okay? But everything I'm going to describe right now is part of the standard service until I say it isn't. Okay, you'll hear me when I say, okay, this is where you'll need our premium service. But everything I'm going to describe right now is possible with our standard service. So this is the Brokerage Plus window. You load it from the toolbar, New, Brokerage Plus. These are the tabs that you can have. If you click on New within the Brokerage Plus window, here are the tabs that you can have. Here are the columns that you can have. If you right click on any one of the columns, you will see all of the columns that you can have. It's up to you to figure out which ones you want. So this is what the Brokerage Plus window looks like. So I'm going to describe its function with simulated trading, okay? Paper trading, simulated trading. So we're using our real-time data, okay? So it doesn't matter what brokerage account you have. So if you click on an alert, the symbol will load. Now you can either short it, sell. You can pick how many shares you want to buy or short. You pick the price you want to go in at. And again, if you want to go long, you buy. So that is pretty darn simple. There's PPC. What is it doing? That's a nice one from 1889. Yeah, I just got into the one that didn't move too much. Actually, NOV is popping here. Interesting. But okay, James, there's nothing. I'm going to back up here. There's nothing that you have to do. This is going to load. For instance, you can't put any filters on it. You can't say I only want to see stocks, within this certain price range or volume. Okay, this is what's going to happen. You're going to get the alerts, and then it's up to you to trade it the way you want. Does that make sense? I mean, there's nothing. That's why I'm saying that there's no right or wrong way. What I do is I just sort on this aggressive profit percent column all day long and track the ones that are like the big winning stocks all day long. But that's what I do. Okay. So again, there's nothing. Okay, but if you're talking about, I mean, the AI, again, nothing to do. All you have to do is, if you want to get an emulator, just then load this, and then you can incorporate this window as part of your layout. In the morning, this will be blank, and then it'll fill up with alerts all day long. I mean, that's really that simple. Other layouts, I mean, I can help you with that, but let me just keep going a little bit on Brokerage Plus, though. So that is what I described is the simplest way, the most manual way to use Brokerage Plus in simulated trading. Boy, there's some great alerts right now, 1254. I just happened to pick the one that was moving up. See what work is doing, 2651, nothing yet. 18820, nothing yet. This is another airline, South American airline. So what I would do though is, again, I just showed you the most manual way you can use Brokerage Plus. But this is what I would do. Let's just say you click on Box and you do want to trade it. So now I want to trade it. So if I right click on it and hover over the trade box at the top, I think there are some buying and shorting options that we have as a default for you guys. But you can create your own. This is what we call one-click trading. You just pick how you want to trade it. So how do you do that? Well, you have to have the strategies tab. So again, if you don't have a strategies tab, then all you have to do is click on new and strategies tab, okay? So you have to have the strategies tab. Click on it and then right click, new trading strategy. You will give it a name. Is it a long? Is it a short? Now, all of these are tabs with all sorts of information you can fill in, all right? I can't tell you how you want to trade, how you want to create your trading strategy, but I'll show you what I do for my watch list up. Again, you don't have to follow it. I'm just going to show you an example of what I do. So my watch list up, so the entry time, you notice here that there's nothing that'll happen before 9:45. That's because I purposely put a delay of 15 minutes. That's just what I do. Order details and risk management work hand in hand. Order details. Now I would encourage you to use what we call the position sizing based on stop loss. If you do that, then you put in a risk value. What does that mean? That $100, what that means is that in the simulator, if the trade goes against me, I do not want to lose more than $100. That's what I'm prepared in the simulator, because let's face it, not all trades are going to work. So you have to have an out. And I would hardly recommend you get used to that concept of having an out. And then if you have risk management, using the filter, and then a stop. Now there's the stop. So for instance, there's the V. This is a custom stop that is not available. This is a big drop-down menu. You can experiment with all these different stops, okay? And I would, you could try our smart stop in dollars. It's generated by the system. And basically, so what that smart stop means, if I took the trade right now in Box, my stop would be 29 cents away, as an example. I don't have a hold time in anything. I want to manage my exits on my own. But having a stop and then having a set amount that I'm willing to risk on the trade, that then will determine the share size that I take when I do one-click trading. So let me just show you that. Now I'd rather have a short, but let's just do KBSF as an example. Let's go long this one, and I'm going to use the buy button that's right on the chart. Now this is how that works. So I created a strategy, just gave it a name, chart long $100. Okay, that's all. It's basically the same trading strategy as up here, except there's no real entry time. But everything else is the same. And then I check it. I right click on it and I check it and I call it the default chart long strategy. So that means that when I use the buy button, that it's going to follow these rules, okay, that I have in place. So let's see what happens. Click on the buy button and I move it here. Okay, so this would take the trade at 230. There, it just took the trade, 236, okay? And look what happened. It automatically assigned the position size, okay? How did it do that? If you take the entry minus the stop times the number of shares that it took, you'll get very close to $100. Remember, I have a $100, you can see it right there. I have a $100 risk per trade. So that's why it did that automatically. Now, at this point, that's a pretty wide stop. It was based on the VWAP stop. I could always move the stop up, move it up here. So now if it moved down, if it took me out, I would only lose $36. Okay? So that's how the position sizing works. If you do use one of our stops and a risk amount per trade. So all of that, everything I just said, well, it says it's either a short or a long RL. Okay, I mean, it clearly says what the suggestion is. Well, then that, RL, now you're asking more of a, in general question, what are indicators? For me, I'm always looking, if I'm looking on the short side of anything, I'm always looking at the daily, weekly, monthly chart to see how much room a stock still has that it can possibly keep going down. And that's just because I'm a momentum trader. So most of the alerts that I see, these are stocks making new lows or new highs for the day. So it doesn't mean just because I see, these are just ideas that have been generated. Just because I see it doesn't mean I hop into the trade, of course. Next thing, the very first thing, that's why I have a daily, weekly, monthly chart loaded. So I can quickly see, okay, is there any support close by? So if there isn't, and if the stock isn't just straight down, maybe a bit of a rest and then a breakdown, then it becomes a really solid candidate for me, in this case, to say short. Not talking AAWW necessarily, but that comes with some trading experience, I guess. But I mean, I would just get into the habit, especially if you want to become more of a momentum trader. But even if you're not, get into the habit of looking at these longer time frames. People ask me what's my favorite time period, and do you like the 1 minute chart, the 5 minute chart, the 15? Well, I do have the 5 and 15 here, so of course, but quite honestly, the daily, weekly, monthly is what I really concentrate on, because if I get an alert, again, as I'm saying, usually a stock's making a new high or a new low, so I don't have to worry about intraday resistance. So now I have to look, okay, how much room does it have on the longer time frames? So everything I just described is part of the standard service, okay, for Brokerage Plus. Also, if you do want to trade your own account, you have to have right now an Interactive Brokers account. All right, that's the only broker it works with right now, Brokerage Plus works with right now. We are looking to add others. E-Trade was, I thought maybe we would be able to do it this quarter, but I don't know when that's going to happen, or if there are going to be any others. Please don't ask me about your favorite brokerage platform, okay? I just don't know. So everything I described, though, including the one-click trading, These are hotkeys, which I didn't mention. Hotkeys gets you out of a position, flatten half your position, gets out of half your position, double your position, or reverse. You were long, now you want to go short. You're short, you want to go long. All right, now, if you wanted to hopefully this week, Mr. Green, there was a bug in the beta that we released, so they don't want to release it. It wasn't a huge bug, but so hopefully this week, but I can't guarantee it, of course. So now what I'm going to talk about is why you would want our premium service. So everything I just talked about is part of our standard service, okay? If you wanted, for instance, to auto trade, say my alert windows or an alert window that you created, then you do need our premium service. And this is how you would do it. For instance, if you wanted to auto trade my alert windows, you would first have to load from the channel bar, my windows, new channel bar, and then my windows, okay? And then you'd save them to the cloud. You'd right click, save, okay? So now they're in the cloud. And then you would go to the strategies tab and right click and load from cloud. Or you could also, of course, you could do your own trading strategy, as I outlined, but you can load from the cloud and you would see the strategy up here and you would just left click on it and load it, okay? And that's how it would appear. Then you have to go through the exercise of course, creating your trading strategy with all these tabs. Once you've done that, you only have to do it one time. Now, in order to auto trade them, you have to turn them on. So for instance, if I see it says off, if I right click to enable, on. So that would mean in the Momo up, as an example, the next symbol that would appear, it would automatically take it and it would trade it according to the strategy that I've got. Okay? So for that, if you want to auto trade your own strategies, you have to have our premium service. And then if you wanted to auto trade the AI, you need our premium service, of course. And also you have to buy Brokerage Plus, a one-time licensing fee for $1,100 minus the discount that's available right now. It's 15% and 15. And what do I mean by a lifetime license? It means that if you decide that you want to stop trading for a while and you unsubscribe for Trade Ideas and you come back, the Brokerage Plus license is still waiting there for you. All right. So that basically covers the AI, Brokerage Plus, and of course you can ask me questions all day long. That's why I'm here. All right, guys. Sorry about that. I'm still talking with development, trying to get the this issue with our that one server. My top lists are still not updating, which is really a bummer for me because I've been relying on them in this market. Trading partners, you mean with brokerage? Only Interactive Brokers. Okay. And the question in tech support, can I see share? No. The reason why, Dan, is that every broker is different. All right. I mean, I could go to Interactive Brokers and I could have tons of shorts available. You could go to your broker and there may not be shorts available. Okay. So every broker is different. Now, if you were using Brokers Plus and you were connected with IB, okay, and you tried to short something that they don't have, I mean, the trade just won't go through. Typically what I do is when I'm looking at a short, I just immediately glance in my order entry box, and right underneath it says shortable or not. That's in Interactive Brokers. Hey, no problem. There has to be a way with an E-Trade. Has to be that it'll show you. It's hard to believe. I mean, I'm not questioning you necessarily. It's just hard for me to believe that E-Trade wouldn't have anywhere you could go to see if shorts are available. But I don't have E-Trade. Oh, only if you. Well, it's funny. That's what I used to do. Before, when I didn't have Interactive Brokers, what I would do is I would say if I wanted to short a stock, say I wanted to short LTM, and yeah, my broker wouldn't tell me if shorts are available. So what I would do is I would say, okay, I want to short it at $100. Okay, so here's a stock at 564, obviously, and it would immediately tell me if there were shorts available. So you put some huge number above where you want to short it, and that'll tell you also. But I don't have to do that with IB. It tells me. SFIX was an earnings play yesterday, and it had a terrible day. Even though the market was up 1,000, it had a terrible day. And it looks like it wants to rocket down still. I don't think there's any support. This is an all-time low. If they're not available, right underneath that order entry, you'll know they're available if you see a big, like a nice green dot. And then if they're available, but you have to phone them and ask them and have them search, which I never do, it'll be a faded green dot. And then if they're absolutely not available, there's a big red dot underneath. If they're absolutely not available. That used to be the case with, for instance, Riot. Yeah, see, Riot, not shortable. Woof. Okay, guys, I've just lost all my top lists. This is what I'm talking about. They've just gone blank. Now, maybe that's because they're... But this is a server issue, all right? Some depends on the server you're on. All right, so I think what happened is they maybe just rebooted it or something like that. So now I'm getting this is up to date. No, it isn't. Oh man. Ah, I've been trying to short this NOV again. It won't give me a fill. It's strange. They're not giving me a fill, even though it's not down 10%, and it was not down 10% yesterday. I don't believe anyway. It's down 10%. Well, it's down 10% now. It wasn't down 10% yesterday, of course. It had an up day. Keep an eye on SVEX, guys, especially if it takes out 14, that whole number. Super weak stock. You know, market was up obviously yesterday in a big way, but this was an earnings play, and look at the gap down, and it did recover a little bit from the lows, but this a breakdown through 14 could really get it rocking again. What list are you talking about, RL? You're talking about my watch list up? Oh, Momo up. On the Momo up? Well, very simply, it may have, because there are filters in here, and it obviously, even though it might look like it might have, well, no, because this pop here wasn't on abnormal volume, and this one right there wasn't up that much. Remember, there are filters here. So the easy answer is that these filters did not make it. Okay, it's that simple. They blocked it from happening. Now you could say, well, I want to see it. Well, yeah, you're right. I could drop these numbers down, and it will show it up, but I will probably see a lot more that I don't want to see. Okay? I mean, there are obviously other ways I could have seen codex, other types of alerts, but this is a strong momentum. See right now, you see the volume right there is just not, it's not abnormal. Now, if all of a sudden we see a big volume bar and it takes on a new high, I guarantee it'll be here. But it's a question that we get all the time. How come this one didn't show up? Can you give me a window or an alert that would make that show up? And I'd say I can make an alert that allow you to see everything, anything you wanted, but you may see a lot more that you don't want. So sometimes you just have to sort of say to yourself, okay, that's nothing I can do about it. So are we down 1,000? I don't know if this has been updated enough. Meanwhile, I should have taken that KBSF. I was just demonstrating the buy button in the chart. A heck of a run. Now, obviously, if you were watching this, if you really had taken that trade, this is why it's a good idea, in my opinion, to have the max P&L column up, because it shows you, okay, and not that you'll ever be able to get out right at the top, but how far away are you now? You wouldn't want to, obviously, you don't want to let this $94 turn into zero. Well, Vicky, I know you're interested. I don't know, Vicky, if you're in the room. So this was an alert from that AI under 20, 566, 520 now. Well, I'll say one thing. These mornings are flying by. Yeah, I tried to get the SFIX. I couldn't get it. The uptick rule was down more than 10% yesterday, down 12% today. I couldn't get it where I wanted it. I'm just not going to chase it. SFIX, so if you're able. I mean, you're chasing it, but it's underneath 14. Below yesterday's low, of course, 1434. Okay, so I'll just flatten this. Just flatten that position in the simulator, KBSF. Oh man, SFIX. Anybody able to get it? A little more patience. Huh. I gotta say, this is a pretty strong one for a retailer. Little China retailer. Oh, look at this thing go. I'm out of it. I'm out of it. I never had it in my real account, okay, but Oxy, boy, Oxy. No, wow, look at that candle. Of course, this was probably down 10% yesterday too. All right, yeah, let's take a look at the SPY here. So there, yeah, they're sort of, there's the area, one of the areas right there on 275. You know, if you look at that weekly chart, falls down below that, look out. Of course, a couple of days ago, it did briefly get below that, 273. Oxy, yeah, continues down. Where's the alert? 1258, 1226 now. Guys, keep an eye on that BKYI, sorry, BKYI. Starting to, you know, again, just has to, maybe later on in the day, you never know. If it takes out 165-ish, especially if it takes it out on some volume, look at that little volume bar right there. I mean, it's extraordinary volume, of course, 10 million shares. It's only 627 times normal. This does not trade very much usually. So there's the AI, and I was talking about the 958 AI. There's only 3 alerts today, but HUD certainly is a nice one on the short side. The other 2 on the long side, you know, it didn't really pan out yet. Okay, guys, give me about 2 minutes. I'll be back in 2 minutes. All right, guys, I am back. Oxy, oxy, oxy. Moron. High of the day for INO. I'll see what we have. Looks like we have a high of the day was 849. Ed. You know what, guys? Keep an eye on this TNK. Had a huge day yesterday, and it looked pretty good still in the pre-market. The market opened, and it tanked. Okay. However, it looks like it is trying to come back somewhat, even as the market is moving down. So. Actually, somebody mentioned that yesterday, William. I don't know if that was you, but and I didn't. I guess it makes sense. So, what is Sting? STNG, not the singer. Scorpio. Scorpio is doing kind of the same thing. Okay, Mohammed, I see you have a question in the YouTube feed. Welcome. Okay, well, you'd have to ask Thinkorswim. I mean, most brokerages will probably start at around seven in the morning. I know Interactive Brokers. I think it actually starts around 4 in the morning, Eastern time. We're talking, right? But I would think, but you just have to. I mean, I can't tell you, and I'm sure there are people in this trading room that have Thinkorswim, but I'm pretty sure that it would start. We start getting our data at 7 in the morning. I can't imagine that Thinkorswim would not be getting data at 7 in the morning. So I just somebody answered. So Thinkorswim actually starts at 4 a.m. Okay. So hopefully you heard me, Mohammed. Look at TNK, guys. This is now starting to, move here. TNK starting to move here. I wish I'd seen it just a little bit earlier on that 18 break for TNK. Well, just don't want to chase it. I'm just so. It looks like this is just going to keep going higher for a while. Look at it now, guys. I mean, this is just like yesterday. It reminds me of yesterday. All of a sudden, once it started, look at the volume coming into TNK. Unfortunately, I'm not in it. I just I didn't want to chase it, so I was hoping it would rest just a little bit, but it just didn't do it. Now, look at it now, 1851. Wow. Now, I know some of you out there are less or not quite as conservative as I am, and maybe you did chase it. Aha, guys, BKYI just got halted on the way up. And this is going to be, looks like it's going to be a pretty good halt. I'm seeing the bid ask stacking up, 171, 170 right now. Again, if you're wondering where I'm getting this from, this is just from Interactive Brokers. Your broker will have something like this too, the time and sales, okay? So this Trader Ideas does not supply this. Shoot, shoot, I said. I was looking at this and I thought, okay, I'll take it right now, but it's halted and this is going to be, looks like it's going to be a great open. So if this is a 5-minute halt, it'll open at 11:40 plus 28 seconds. This is what I'm talking about right here. Of course, the halt resumes. This is available from Trade Ideas, and if you want, excuse me, in this one or any of the other ones that I'm sharing, all you have to do is click on the Scans tab within the trading room. And it is there along with a lot of others, or you can click on the Room Drive icon and scans that I share, download. You'll see all the scans that I'm sharing, including the halts resumes. Well, it's just a computer, you know, too fast, short a period of time. It's just a computer. And actually, though, I have to admit, you know, I mean, it is not some guy just sitting there and saying, oh, I think I'll halt this thing right now. I mean, it is computerized. TNK, guys. Actually, how is I should check the DSSI lagged. The DSSI lagged TNK yesterday. It's kind of doing the same thing. This was an AI alert, I believe, yesterday, right there at 11:08. So, you know what? I might take this one if it cracks. If it cracks 11 in a big way, it's lagging just like it did yesterday. The TNK. Okay, guys, I'm in the DSSI and I'm fairly wide stop because I'm. This is going to be pretty whippy. And I'm just banking on the fact that it might tag along the TNK. Got an average of about 1105. Was able to stick it in between the bid and ask a couple of times. So. Now, I'm going to keep a tight rein on it. I am going to be taking my break pretty soon too, so. And it dropped, but I have a fairly wide stop on it. This was a lot more whippy than the TNK yesterday, so. Look at that one, TNK. Wow. How's the other one doing? The STNG? All right, so BKY opened. What did it open at? I know I have that alert set, but it's probably way above it. Not way above it. So BKYI opened, didn't. Now there's that 200, sorry, not the 200 day. It just had to clear that 165 in a big way right there. 162, 165 in a big way. It's still making up its mind. Ooh, I want to say a bad word. The TNK. All right, guys. Time is it now? 11:42. So I'll be taking my break around 11, between 11:50, 11:55, and then I'll stop my YouTube feed, and then the other guys will take over at noon Eastern time. I did get it. Okay, it's so whippy, guys, but I did get it, and you probably see exactly where I got it. 168 on the BKYI. I'm looking to actually sell some. I'm not sure it's going to get through too. And you can always tell, guys, when I keep putting price alerts on something, that is your big clue. But it is so whippy. Just be awfully careful. But what did I say? If it could clear that 162 area, okay, wow, I got awfully lucky, guys. Well, maybe lucky. I sold some at 190. It just got halted again. You know what I like to do? Just get out before a whole number. And it just got halted again. Now I have to hold on. See what happens. I can't really lose. I mean, unless it crashes down through 168. It's stacking up right now, right here. Love to see a little break over 2. Look at the volume. Look at the volume that came in also. Remember what I was saying? If it can take out that area with some volume, that's all it was. So it was worthwhile putting the price alert. No, well, obviously I can't go my break yet. Gotta wait for this halt to clear, and I'll be really quick on the trigger. Oh man, anybody able to get the S fix? I just couldn't get it. Now, when I say that, there were shorts available, but because of that uptick rule, I kept sitting and I was moving it down a little bit, a penny at a time, but I just couldn't get a fill. Okay, guys, listen, I'm out of the DSS. I might get back into it, but I'm out of it. I'm just having to wait on this BKYI. I had a wider stop on it, but I just don't like the way it's trading, so decided to get out. So this is, guys, this is why I constantly say, somebody asked the question, how do you use the AI? Well, there's all sorts of ways. I use it as a watch list. I don't auto trade it. I'm not going to. I use it as a watch list. So, you know, the BKYI, yeah, it got stopped out. But I kept saying, you know, keep an eye on it if it takes out that area. And there's your reward. Now, here is something else. Notice it got stopped out. I've been talking about this also. So you notice here there is a re-entry price for these three stocks. They are automatically generated halfway between the entry and the stop. So 164, 134, halfway between is 149. Okay? If a stock hits the stop, doesn't necessarily have to, you know, that doesn't have to be the exit reason, but at any time, if it hits the stop and then comes back to that halfway point, you will get a re-entry trigger. And so look at that one, 149. And if you don't have that column, I recommend you have these three columns: the re-entry price, re-entry stop, re-entry time. You'll know when something triggers when you see something in the re-entry time, of course. They don't all trigger. All right, guys. Oh, good exit. Looks like a good exit. I got out more at 190 just on that. Now it's dropped. So I don't have very much of that left. Now, I have a little bit left, but not much. See if it can take out two, and there it goes. Okay, well. And another stop. Holy smokes. Well, I just, you know, again, that's my conservative nature. Wasn't sure if it would take out that two. And now it is halted again. And over two. So I don't have very much left. Now let me just get all this in here. All right, guys. What time is it now? 11:52. Well, I have to stick around until that halt stops, of course, to see what happens. Hopefully it's not going to be a long halt. 11:49:28. Hopefully it's at 11:54:28. What is the market doing? So the market is resting a little bit here. Niblik. So some of these, so maybe that's why Nova. So NBLX is trying to come back here. NBLX. Okay, just again, just obviously just waiting on the BKYI. All right, well, if it's going to be a 5-minute halt, this will open in about 10 seconds, 10 seconds from now, if it is a 5-minute halt. So I got to be quick on the trigger here. 205, 205, and now we're open. We are now open. Okay, out some at 202. I don't have very much left at all. In fact, I'm all gone now. Gone, gone, gone. Thank you, BKYI. I'll just... And it's still going, but that's okay. I didn't have that much left, so... Say right around 2. Makes it easier. So, you know, great percentage move, 168 to 2. And I know I'm leaving stuff on the table, but that's okay. Yeah, almost a 20% move right there. So now the next, if you're in this one, the next big level would be around 260, I guess, on that monthly chart. All right, guys, I'm going to stop my YouTube feed now, so I'm going to hand it over to the other guys. So I'm going to stop my YouTube feed, and I'm going to take my break.